Greetings, my fellow blacksmiths. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 29, Start of a Smithy. Alright, back on task now. Oh, we have a second piece of linen. Sweet. So the linen, I'm saving it for sales. And this is a sale blueprint. So I need twice as much as I currently have for even the first sales, but I'll probably want 10 times more than what I currently have if I want a really good windmill, the initial windmill. It really depends on how I design my windmills, I suppose. So the current task right now is to build a smithy. Let's do that. So I should explain the needs of a smithy. The needs of a smithy are going to be, for smithy, for how I want to make it, is going to be for a health hammer, driven by windmills, and then also a pulverizer, bloomeries, a forge, you know, like everything that you'd want in your smithy, basically. So it's going to be definitely the largest room in the base. And due to the mechanization of the room, I'm probably also not going to bother enclosing it. Doesn't need to be indoors. There's like tricks to be able to enclose it, but I'm not going to use any of those tricks. Don't care. Don't care to do that. I think my plan is to put the smithy kind of where I'm standing here. The idea that I have for this spot is the smithy will be elevated in this platform, and then below the smithy, if and when I get to it, I can put in like an animal pen. You want to keep your animal pen away from your bees, so that if the bees get angry when you harvest the skeps, your bees don't go murdering your farm animals. So that's, for as far as base requirements go, like the biggest requirement is to keep your bees and your animals separate, so you can't lose your bees from or your animals from mass bee animal homicide. This works, where I don't fall. I forgot to put my ores away. And a lot of the smithy, for me, just like my own preference, I like to have things, like smithies specifically, feel very open. Not to have it feel claustrophobic. So that's another design ethos that I'm gonna move towards. So a nice open floor plan for a smithy. So for that, I am gonna need some resources. I might want to make a tin bronze shovel, though. So I think I'm going to heat up this tin bronze ingot and to make a shovel, because I'm going to be doing likely a lot of digging here. So in terms of dimensions, it depends on how you set up your health hammer, but I really like to have more than one helve hammer. So what a helve hammer is, it's honestly easier to show than to explain, but what a helve hammer is it's a mechanized hammer that that when toggled on will continue to slam on a ingot or a bloom that you put on the anvil. So what it can do is it can turn an iron bloom, which is like iron mixed with slag, into an iron ingot, or it can take any sort of ingot and turn it into a plate. It also could be used to make steel as well from a steel bloom. So helve hammers are really, really useful in order to work your bloomery, and then also in order to make a high volume of plates. And plates are typically what you need for like lanterns and armor and just a whole bunch of other things, chutes, etc. So I usually will lay out my smithies. Well, I say usually, I've only like have 2 test worlds. But I lay out my smithies so that I can have 3 helve hammers per 1 anvil. And that way, when I'm trying to do ingot or plates, it works very quickly. And I don't want to get too much into the details because one of the... It will be confusing to like talk in high detail without actually showing you. But the greater point is the smithy should be a large room. Very spacious room. Plus, you're probably going to want bloomeries in the smithy and forges and things like that. So don't have a claustrophobic smithy, in other words. You'll regret it. I'm blind. Where's the shovel? Ah, there it is. Hey, Beavis, it has been a while. And hello to you. Yeah, because I'm immediately turning into a tool. I don't really need to cool it down. And then good smithies will also have crates of coal and tool racks, you know, just be designed well enough that you have all the things that you need at your fingertips for whatever metalworking you need doing. And that also means that I can terraform this like hillside here, giving me a slightly better entryway. And I wanted it off the ground because I generally don't enclose my smithies, but then if you put it on the ground, you probably have to pair it with like a lot of illumination and fencing and things like that to stop drifters from wandering in and like throwing stones at you if you're at ground level. Whereas if it's a little elevated, you have a little bit of natural drifter protection because they won't see you if they're, you know, if they're below or whatever. So what dimensions do I have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, 7, 8, 9, 10. It can't be 10 because it's got to be an odd number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll do this sort of dimension here. So a large room. And this is going to require a lot of material. So this is why when you voted for this, I just said start the smithy, not build the whole thing, because it's a large project that I might want to do in parts. I'm also, it's worth noting, down to my last bronze pick. I do, however, have the copper and tin nuggets to make another run of bronze tools if I need. Only mention it because getting all the granite for this might actually break my tools. My last pick. Probably not, because I don't think it's going to be that expansive, but... And then some of this extra soil that I have can be used to change the layout of the lake here if I want to terraform the lake's shape into something more desirable, so that I alter the shoreline. So of all the things to put in there, besides the health hammer, or 3 health hammers and an anvil, that's the eventual goal, is to have triple health hammer, powered anvil. We'll also probably want a pulverizer. A pulverizer allows you to crush certain things into bits, like quartz or bauxite, or any of the gemstones if you're trying to make colored glass. And you can also use it to... So mechanical power could be... mechanical power is used for a pulverizer for crushing things, a quarren for grinding things, and a health hammer for hammering things. There are some uses for the quarren to be... So what I'm trying to say is, like, if I have one windmill, I may initially just want like a health hammer, a pulverizer, and a quarren mechanized. But the eventual goal is to have more than that. The eventual goal is to mechanize considerably more than that. To have, like, the kitchen have its own quarren, and to have, like, a pulverizer and all that. So, dream big, is what I'm saying. Some of these stone paths will ultimately be replaced with cobblestone, so that I have raised things, because you can't really place things neatly on stone pathing. I just wanted to lay out the area with enough stone pathing. And that actually seems about right. Yeah, this is a nice smithy area. I like the dimensions of this spot. Game? There we go. So for cost, I'm just going to have like an oddly raised fence like this. I know that you can see through it. That's just to keep the project cost down. And I'll fill in the back if I can. I'll fill in the back eventually. So instead of... ooh, flax is coming in too. Nice. So I'll keep terraforming over here, where my, like, sort of pit kilns are. Because I'm going to want to flatten out this surrounding area eventually. One of the other things that you can do, if you're to terraform at all, is flatten everything out just so it's easy to move around your base. And then also to put just a bunch of soil down so that you can, if you're trying to get hay, it's very easy. Giant fields of flat dirt that grows hay grass or long grass makes it so that it's just so much easier to feed your farm animals. Because farm animals eat tons of, well, it depends on what you're farming, but most farm animals will eat grass as a staple, allowing you to not have to feed them other things. And having giant, flat, open fields of grass just makes it so much easier to feed your critters without losing sleep. Is that the last of the clay? It might be. I might have actually tapped the clay here. Which wasn't a big clay field, I guess. But I'm honestly kind of surprised that it happened that early. with the Smithy the way they are, am I still able to expand the farms? Yeah. Because I can expand the farms. They don't, it can be, it doesn't, I think what I will do is I'll expand it out that way. I'm not going to go for square. I don't think I need a full 14 by 14. As that's more food than I'm likely to need for the winter, and also more farmland than I even want to farm. But I do appreciate that you're looking out. Now let's go dig some more clay. So for now, the plan is to really just move a single chest, move the forge, move the anvil, and then move some tool racks. But eventually, I'll aim to have more things implemented. Oh, and a coal box. So the scope of this is not too huge, but it can grow. So if you can imagine, if you can picture one health hammer here, one health hammer here, and one health hammer here, with the gearing and windmill above it, is kind of the idea. So we have a central anvil, and then to have like a pulverizer and quarn off to the side. I can't have 5 things. Well, I'm not going to set up 5 things driven by the same windmill, because that adds complexity. But this is just so that you can sort of visualize the space. Now, the other thing that I'm going to run into is that I don't really have lanterns to illuminate up here. So that will be another thing to invest in at some point, is to illuminate everything up here so it can't become a monster spawner, because there's nothing really stopping monsters from spawning in these areas yet. What's my bees doing? Large, large, poor, large. Some are doing good. Can I add the sifting the soil? Yeah, I could add it. That's a possibility, sure. White Powder Guy, thanks for tuning in. I'm happy to have anyone that wants to join a stream. It's obviously an opportunity to like vote and help to shape the content. And ooh, I didn't mean to. Okay, yeah. Well, I obviously did that. And I think it's a somewhat of a unique feature to try to incorporate. I try to incorporate a reasonable amount of viewer feedback while I play, without it being so cumbersome that like people on YouTube click away. It's a careful balance. Sometimes I get the balance wrong, but The games I play on Thursdays are community suggested, and a lot of the things I work on in game are viewer decided, live viewer decided. All right, that should be enough cobble for this project. So here, I'm just, I'll eventually collect those path blocks, but I'm just putting in some area for, like, ground shelving. Just because I think it will look a little bit nicer than putting things on, like, the side rails. So it is time to set up a smithy box and tool shelves and the like there. And to probably put the ore crate up there, as maybe even the gem crate, because there's not a lot of uses for gems outside of using them for crafting too. I need more vegetable. Last of my onion soup. More grain. It's nice to have like one of every type of meal, so that I can just sort of fix my my nutrition as I play. I hadn't intended to do that, like I didn't go and decide that, but it is pretty sweet. All right, let's start moving things. Forge, coming with me upstairs. And the pine crate, that's coming up too. All of the molds. That might be an annoying spot. And what I could do is I could actually mint this new space by making a new bronze pit or something. All right, ore box. Do I want a quenching pit? That's a good question. Maybe I want to incorporate that too. If I wanted a quenching pit, it's probably something to be added later. So what else needs to go up? The tool racks, but not all the tool racks. I do actually have a spare bronze pick. I forgot about that. Just the metalworking ones. But like woodworking stuff can be still down here. So I'll take this tool rack. Chisel's not specifically metalwork, but we'll say it is. What else? Trying to think of what else that room will need. I'm gonna move this tool rack inside. Now that it's dry. Actually, no, if I want to make another bow staff, I need to leave that out. Because in here, it won't dry as fast because this is an enclosed area. A fire pit would be smart because I'm going to want the... I might want crucible metals. And actually, I would go so far as to say having another torch holder at some point so that I can light the forge up there. I typically carry a torch with me, so it's less of an issue now. But eventually, it's one of those things that I would want regularly to have. And then probably another trunk. Unless I can consolidate. Maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll consolidate everything into this trunk. And then have a metalworking specific trunk up there. I am getting close to doing that, so I'm going to add one more, which is continue the Smithy as a project. If you want more Smithy stuff. What else needs to be moved up there? Lamellar molds, yes. That might be it. Nothing else in here is really specific to smithies. At least at first glance. It's not very organized, granted, but I'm also going to move my fire pit to be like more convenient or something. This room here is what I'm eventually planning is this will be the like leatherworking tailoring room, that kind of thing, because I have the barrels of tannin, and I'll move the quarry at some point. 8 out of 20 days. Ooh, how spoiled does that mean? 1% spoiled. I ought to cook it. For now, just because I have plenty of mold space here, I'm going to lay my molds out, because they're just a lot easier to use that way than putting in the vertical rack, because now I have just a ton more total area. I'll even put the I do no, you know what? I'm never gonna really use the anvil mold like ever again. There's the only way I would ever need an anvil mold is if I had some sort of critical failure where I like had my entire base destroyed or something, which is really not gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. The way I would continue the smithy, because it looks like that's popular, is I would probably add in lighting, and I would probably add in lighting everywhere. Because we've got a lot of stuff up here that is vulnerable without additional light sources. And then maybe, if you really want, I would lay out some of the ceiling, because the eventual idea of this room is that, you know, it has a ceiling. It will be open, like open windows, but start to put in pillaring for a ceiling so that it can support a windmill on top. despite the fact that I don't have all the flax for the windmills yet. What is the biggest door? The biggest door is, there's some really big doors. 3 talls. I think the biggest wide one is only 2 wide, if I recall. So I'll probably just put a single door in the middle, if at all. It's not one of those objects that necessarily needs to be walled in. Any other organization? No, I think we're good. Let's cook that meat before it spoils then. Oh, where's my cooking pot? Don't light the cooking pot on fire. No stew with berries. What goes with yeah, this meat, you're gonna just get spoiled. I'm not great at remembering vegetables. Yeah, I'll do some onions. Yeah. So, continue the Smithy project. I'll just leave that up. Will do. And then I also wanted a fireplace up here in the Smithy so that I can do crucible stuff. So where to put that in the layout of this room? Put it here, nice and center, I guess. But I'll have it raised, so it looks nicer. One weird thing, I wouldn't say it's a weird thing, but it's one thing about this game, which is maybe a little strange, which is that you never get like something fancier than just crucibles or pit kilns. Oh, did I only click 3 times? Yes. I did sort of mention wanting more bronze. So it was 92 and 8, right? So if I did a run of bronze, 500 units, I could do 2 molds. That could be for a shears and a scythe. And then do another like pick and stuff like that. Let me, so that you're all not squinting to figure out what the hell I'm doing. These torches, as long as you pull them up, they can last. So I'll just illuminate things now and then remove the torches before they burn out. It's way easier in the eyes. So let's plan a pickaxe. So this is what I'm currently doing. So pickaxe prospecting, because my prospecting pick is quite spent. So that's 400. And then one more lamellate mold so I can repair my bronze armor. Nice. So I mentioned wanting a roof. So let's work on that. Might need to make some ladders. Now, yeah, maybe I'll have just big windows. What I'm hoping to do eventually is get leaded glass, which will look glorious in the smithy. But for now, we'll settle for just no glass. That means there'll probably be pillars there and there. So I'll move that over then. So can you envision it? Like giant, towering glass windows with a windmill on top? Maybe with a glass roof so I can soak in that sunlight? Something like that. That's the idea that I have in mind. So for more granite, cobble, let's go get granite. Current rift is low. Cool. Oof. Alright. Double handing. Now I will say that we are pushing towards fall, so another project to undertake sooner or later would be to make bloomeries so that I can make mass-produced glass from quartz for greenhouses, and to expand the farm as much as I can and plant more food and preserve fruit. Like, sort of winter prep, to generalize, is not an unwise thing to do. Because if you don't prepare for winter when the resources are available now, where I can, like, pick fruit, and harvest mushrooms and that kind of stuff, once winter sets in, we're in a situation where, like, I'm just having to, like, hunt to eke out some sort of subsistence, which is not a good condition to be in. So until I have something to do with this physical area, I'm just going to fill it in with the dirt that I've got to allow for grass. I'm really bad at clicking. Oh, white currants. I don't think I've actually harvested white currants yet. Even though I had like a white currant bush apparently next to the base this whole time. Setting an overall theme. I'm not worried about it yet, because I can always just not pull for it if I feel like it's urgent, or alternatively tell you guys how important it is to do and then influence the polls that way. Much the way that I was like, it's wise to start leatherworking now because leather takes like a week to process. So starting it now means that I will have leather in a week from now. If you want it, because, you know, there's really not... I could start looking for iron now, But I would only benefit from iron weapon, shield, and tools. I would not benefit from iron for armor smithing until I actually, sourced leather. Oh, I'm an idiot. I don't have the clay on me. Ooh, that's not great. And that's not where I store my clay. Anyway. I do fully realize, like, where I'm storing the clay in here is weird. I just didn't have a lot of shelving space earlier. See if that stops him chewing his paws. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 30th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming stream. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of this video or at Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs,